Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And
Gotcha.
Welcome back to Matt Chat. It's the only pro wrestling show you need to be listening to that has our fans' videos in it. The friendos are in it on Patreon, patreon.com/Steve Larson.
Great start to the show already.
If you want, hey, you know what? It works, though, because we have some new Matt Chatters this week.
We do.
And so whatever ramble I'm on at the beginning of the show, explaining the idea that if you put in $20 a month to the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve Larson, even if you do it for 1 month, that gets you 4 Matt Chat submissions that you are then eligible for.
Maybe 5 if there's 5 weeks in the month.
There are, 4 of those per year, I think? September?
Anyways,
June?
just carry on. I don't know.
Anyways, we got
We
got a bunch of great questions. Today is Hell in a Cell Day.
It is. We'll be doing a reaction live stream today.
Correct.
From 4, I think it starts at 4 to whenever it ends.
I'm fresh off my secret trip.
Top secret mission.
It's still top secret for the next couple days, I think. And
Yeah,
then
for a little while.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, for a little while.
So that's very exciting. I feel great. I'm actually filming this before I leave, so I don't know. Maybe I'm dead now. Are you gonna run this if I'm dead? If the plane crashes? And then am I? We got a Matt Chat question first from Cayenne. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson back with another Matt Chat question. And we're coming to the end of 2018, and I want to know the top 5 indie superstars that you want to see in the WWE in 2019. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, Cayenne.
Thank you, Cayenne.
You know you go first, usually. But you didn't have anything written down here, so I'll go first. And you're chewing. So here are 5. He says indie superstars, so it didn't include anybody from New Japan because that's not independent promotion.
Yeah, basically it is all. Go ahead.
No, not at all. Neither is Ring of Honor, really. It's owned by a giant media conglomerate. It's not an independent promotion. Anyways, these are wrestlers who I guess are independent in the sense, well, 2 of them are signed to, 3 of them actually, signed to contracts with the televised product. But anyways, they're by and large independent wrestlers. Here we go. Pentagon Jr., number 1. Phoenix, his brother, number 2. It's really 1A, 1B. They're great.
Oh, no. Cero Mieros. That's far and away number 1.
Oh, man. Phoenix is so good.
Yeah, dude, but
He's so good. I like them both. They're both excellent. Lucha Brothers are fantastic.
great.
Jeff Cobb.
Oh, fantastic.
He'd be great.
Stud.
Yeah. Brody King.
Stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Santana Garrett.
Oh, stud. I mean, can you say that with a woman? Yeah, you can say that with a woman. Stud.
I think they'd all be great additions to either NXT. Well, they'd probably all go to NXT, although I feel like Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix can be in the Raw Tag Division right now and dominate.
I don't even need to write my answers down because they're all right here.
Give them to me.
Jordan Grace.
Good.
Lots of buzz coming out of that.
Good
over
pick.
there. But Moose.
He signed Impact.
That's fluid, man. He can get out of that anytime.
He's got like 2 more years on that deal or something like that.
I don't know that he does. I know that he said that he signed a long-term. I don't think those long-term deals with Impact. I think they're just, hey, we'll pay you money per appearance.
No, I think Moose signed a long-term deal. Carry on.
It's Impact, dude.
You don't know what you're talking about.
They could buy Impact with chump change.
I know.
We could probably buy Impact with our Patreon
Not with the
money.
way YouTube's been lately, no.
Patreon is enough. So there's those 2. Marco Stunt.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, he's a great choice, really. Let's see here. Well, you already took a bunch of great names, so we're not going to overlap. But I would totally, it's
Pentagon Jr.
Penta's first, yeah. Moving over to AAA. Give me Psycho Clown.
Oh, yeah. Good choice. Oh, no Dr. Wagner Jr.?
And I was going to say Dr. Wagner Jr. You can come in as Andrade Almas Sr.
No, he's Andrade Almas from the future traveling back in time. Because he looks like a time traveler.
We need to write that into We Book Raw.
We should.
That's great.
We should.
That's great.
He's future Andrade Cien Almas.
Oh, man.
He earned a doctorate.
Yeah.
Changed his last name to Wagner.
I've come back in time to tell you.
His voice is so great.
To tell me, Almas, don't re-sign with WWE.
He's got the best voice.
He does, man. It's great.
That was amazing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All good names. Good job.
Oh, man. Good job, us.
Man, we just improved WWE a lot.
Oh, the time travel gimmick? Are you kidding me? I didn't know you were going to bust that out. Man.
I didn't know I was going to do it either until I thought of it.
Great.
It's me. I am you from future. La Futura.
Oh.
Next, we got a question from a new Matt Chatter.
Ooh.
Dead Spatula Inc.
Heyo.
Let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Hey, friendos, Dubstep here. iPhone promo time. Stephen Larson, you have normally noted that WWE doesn't care about bad reactions to poor booking because that Fox money is rolling in. But as Eric Bischoff noted about WCW, when you are hot, you can do no wrong. When you are not, you can do no right. Given the overwhelming success of All In and the NWA positioning itself as a alliance of indies as an alternative to the WWE, do you think while the WWE can right now do no wrong, will their apathy cause them to lose their goodwill and find that when the TV contract come up, they can do no right? Thanks, friendos. Too sweet. Hearty handshake.
Thank you, Dead Spatula Inc.
Thank you. I went first last time, Steve. So, should WWE be worried about the momentum All In's got, the kind of rebirth of the NWA? Should they be worried at all?
No. No. They have established themselves as basically the end-all, be-all. You know they're not going anywhere.
They are to pro wrestling what Kleenex is to facial tissue.
Or Xerox is to copiers.
Yes.
They are synonymous. They mean they are wrestling.
Yeah.
That being said, if there was any competition, it would be in the form of some sort of... it would start with New Japan coming up with a product that... No.
Short term, no.
No.
But however, Billy Corgan, he's got a 20-year plan.
Yeah.
And if he could unify all the various independent promotions here in the States, serve as unifying body to them as the NWA was back in the territory eras. I'm not saying they're going to be, there's no way financially they can be anywhere close to what WWE can do. However, if they can all join forces, as we saw with All In, there's a thirst, a hunger in the wrestling community for an alternative to WWE's product. And if the NWA could conglomerate all the independents here in the States and create a larger platform for all these promotions to put on shows in larger venues, not a threat per se, but it solidifies a pretty solid alternative here in the States.
So,
because like we got Impact having shows like their major shows in 1,000 seats.
Here's why that'll never happen. Here's why that'll never ever happen. It's simple. You got Billy Corgan, and then you have Ed Nordholm, Scott D'Amore, and Don Callis. And then on top of that, you got whoever else you want to bring into the puzzle. Too many cooks in the kitchen. There could not legally be one unifying vision because nobody would give up that kind of control. And I don't think there's an algorithm.
You don't need unifying vision for all the various indie promotions because that never existed in the NWA days. You had just the one traveling champion. And say he pops in, for example, Cody, when his Ring of Honor contract expires in November. He carries on a program there for 3 months with somebody in Ring of Honor for that NWA title. Once that program ends, he's on to the next one. He goes to Impact for a couple months. He goes to AAA for a couple months for a program. So long as the creative vision is centered around the NWA champion, for that particular storyline, these other promotions are free to go about the creative process as usual.
Okay. However, what is Corgan already doing that we both said was you shouldn't be doing that? National championship. Where's that going to go? Tag championships. Where are they going to go? For it to feel like a unifying body, there has to be some sort of unity, not just a traveling H title that goes from territory to territory. I get what you're saying with the NWA, but that's why when the NWA tried to come up with, well, not the NWA, I don't think, when an attempt was made to counter WrestleMania by several different territories, what happened? Nobody knew. They couldn't decide who was going to go over. They couldn't figure all that out.
What was
the super?
Yeah, there was something. Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So if the question is, could there ever be a threat, even long term, to the WWE? No. I mean, long term, 20 years. I just don't see it. It would need, as Scott Steiner said in that Simon Miller interview, amongst many other things he said, there would need to be, first off, a major network deal. Mm-hmm. So USA lost SmackDown, but they kept Raw. Well, what's another? Turner, TNT. Let's say all of a sudden Turner wanted to get back into, who even owns Turner anymore? What is that? What is that deal? Do we know? Viacom? Does Viacom own Turner?
No, I think they own.
Does AOL
CBS.
Still exist?
Yes, it does.
Do they own Turner?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if AOL Time Warner is still a thing or they've been bought by somebody else.
Is it just?
There's
Time
so many
Warner?
mergers
Is it
these
Warner
days.
Brothers? I don't know.
No, I think Time Warner owned Warner Brothers.
So like TNT, I mean FX is Fox, Fox has SmackDown. So like if there was another USA level network like TNT,
yeah,
that wanted to get in the wrestling business, number one, I don't think they ever would because the WWE's end all be all. But if they wanted to get into the business, I mean,
here's someone with the moxie to challenge Vince McMahon.
Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
What does he have?
Access, and they need to get that on pretty much every cable provider before it's even a possibility. But I've heard numbers that the New Japan broadcast on Access compete with Impact circa like a year ago before Demore and Callis took over.
It's like 250?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, considering most of the time it's not original live programming, and considering it's seemingly not on every cable provider, it's fairly impressive. Because I don't have Access, but I have Pop.
Yeah.
So I think the buzz around New Japan, if there's a, that's the thing about the All In thing that put the idea in my head about kind of a new NWA unifying body, is that you can carry on, all the promotions carry on normal operations. Once or twice a year they get together for these shows. Yeah, there's going to be all sorts of politics that's going to have to be worked out. But I think the business is different now than it was in the original territory days. I think people are, for the most part, more in tune with the idea of collaboration.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And working together to build up the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And granted, yes, politics will still come into play. People want to protect their top guys. But at the end of the day, I think if people realize that if booking things a certain way will bring buzz to independent wrestling and specifically their promotion, they will do what they can to bring eyeballs on it.
It would forever be a strong, maybe even financially healthy alternative to the WWE, but it would never in a million years compete with the WWE.
No.
The bottom line is the WWE is too far ahead. It's too rich. For all we know, this time next year, they will have decimated the non-WWE scene with different NXT territories, with snapping up name after name after name after name.
Entirely possible.
And, and there was still, I hope there would still be a thriving independent scene as a good, fun alternative to real wrestling fans. But real wrestling fans who are watching All In, and 10,000 live is a great number, but let's face it, that's not a number they could do on a monthly basis.
No, but
Not
WWE
even
doesn't do
close.
it on a monthly basis.
No, they don't, which is why like Cody and the Young Bucks wouldn't be able to even come close to that on a monthly basis, because not even New Japan can do that over here on a monthly basis.
Nope.
So no, the bottom line is short-term, long-term, there will never be a true competitor to WWE. There's not enough interest en masse in the industry for that to happen. But I do hope, and it does seem like there are so many fun alternatives, and if they were to collaborate on a more regular basis on the kind of thing that you're talking about that Corgan might try to do with the NWA, that'd be great, but it will never be more than simply a fun alternative to the WWE, which a lot of people think is getting stale. And so yeah, it's always going to be a farm system for WWE. That's what it is.
Next, Joshua Martinez.
Oh man, making me jealous with this burrito. Look at the size
burrito
of this
looks
burrito
humongous.
that
Makes
he's
me
got.
so hungry.
Let's take a look.
Hey friendos, so it's a Sunday evening right now, and I decided, you know what, burrito and watch All In. So it got me thinking, what are some fondest memories you guys have of watching wrestling growing up, whether it be when you were a kid or as a teen, maybe even college student, whatever. I know one of the fondest memory is growing up every Friday night I'd watch SmackDown on UPN. I wasn't really much of a Raw guy, maybe because I didn't have Spike TV. I had UPN, so that's what I'd be watching. And every now and then, my mom would bring pizza from the local pizza parlor, and I look back on that with like nostalgic glasses. So, what are some memories you guys have of watching wrestling? Thanks, Rendos.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you, Burrito King.
Man, that burrito looks great.
Ooh, I want to eat it all.
Me
I don't
too.
know what's inside of it, but it's a burrito. I want to
Yeah,
eat
it looks
it.
delicious.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steve, do you have some favorite memories watching wrestling?
So mine mainly came from college. But yeah, I remember watching a lot of pay-per-views at your parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching Hell in a Cell 1998 there. It was whatever it was.
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring, thank you. With that Mankind Undertaker match. I remember that. One of my fondest memories of watching it in a sort of communal environment was WrestleMania, The Rock versus Hogan
18.
18. Because number one, that was actually a really good card. That was much more of a WCW invasion type card than what we got a year before. And I watched that at a bar called the Yankee Doodles down in the San Fernando Valley.
Canoga Park.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, though.
Oh, I'd be sad if it wasn't. Kind of a crap hole place. But they had wrestling there, and it was a lot of fun. And there was a lot of it was just a really fun wrestling environment. Everybody watching on like a giant screen TV at a bar. Everybody marking out hardcore for the Hogan Rock match. I remember that. There was a lot of great memories of us. I'll never forget coming home the day that me, and Jeff had gone out. We got home and found out Owen Hart had died.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget like loading up WWE.com. WWF.com maybe back then.
Yeah.
When
Shane bought WCW.
Yeah. That was stunning. And then we all watched that. There was so much of that going to Jeff's parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
During those college days, wrestling was so much fun to watch. It was the Attitude Era, of course, Monday Night War. And, I bonded with a lot of you guys back then.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's I used to watch wrestling in the mid-'80s quite a bit. And I lived in a pretty small town at the time with one video store. Mm-hmm. And I seem to have rented the same movies a lot, the same tapes a lot. They were always usually either like those late 70s, early 80s Disney live-action films like The Black Hole or Condor Man.
Those were rad.
Or WrestleMania 1. Mm-hmm. Remember seeing that with Hulk Hogan and Mr. T on the cover.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a monthly ritual for me that I would rent that video and just watch it.
That's rad.
And then eventually they get WrestleMania 2 and 3 and so on. And I watched all those. So for me, I think it was just hanging out at my parents' house back in the mid-late 80s.
Yeah.
And just really getting into wrestling at the time.
Yeah, I never knew. I mean, like my earliest experience with wrestling was Rock and Wrestling, the Hogan cartoon. Well, maybe it was like Rocky 3. I always like kind of vaguely remember wrestling being, the F word or predetermined or whatever you want to call it. And being like cool with it. Like I never really cared that it was like, not the real stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I just sort of understood maybe from like having an early memory of the cartoon. It's like, oh, I get it. It's like cartoon characters, but they're like real life. So maybe that has something to do with it. But then I was kind of just not, I never had like a real, I don't even know. So I grew up like a bunch of my childhood in England on Air Force Base. And I'm sure they ran that programming, but I just never was into it. I never got exposed to it. Do you know how you got exposed to it in the first place?
I was just flipping through the channels and then, because we had cable pretty early and just coming upon the USA Network. And I don't know if it's the first match I ever watched. I remember watching the Killer Bees versus the British Bulldogs and just saying, oh my gosh, these guys are coming out with a bulldog. Yeah. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
And just, the characters are larger than life and just instantly being captivated by it.
We had like whatever Air Force freaking programming there was, which was like always behind the times. And I'm not sure if they would have carried WWE at all. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then we got like, when we moved back, like I think it was, maybe we had cable. I don't know. I don't know like if I had much like availability to anything beyond the cartoon. So
yeah.
Anyways, cool question though.
Yeah. Next, another new Matt chatter.
Nice.
AJ Styles contractor. Let's see what he has to say.
A familiar face. He was at the meetup.
He was.
Yeah.
How's it going, Stephen Larson? It's your boy, AJ Styles Contractor, Devon, with my first match chat question. First off, I want to say I'm glad I got to see you guys back in Chicago. I still got the pictures of us doing the Undisputed Era pose. Greatest night of my life. But here's the question, and it's going to be a little bit controversial. Now, WWE still hasn't had a black WWE champion. Now, Mark Henry was World Heavyweight Champion, but that was the big gold belt. So my question today is, who are 3 people, whether it could be from now or it could be past, present, and future, black competitors who should win either the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship that's on SmackDown that AJ Styles holds? Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, AJ Styles Contractor.
Thank you. It was a wonderful night for us as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So, yeah, beyond Mark Henry and the big gold belt, African-American superstars as, world champions, kind of few and far between, unfortunately. I'm curious to see how far... I'm curious to know what Vince will think of Keith Lee. The guy has maybe the most infectious personality and seemingly one of the most genuine personalities. I think they could do a lot with him. Mm-hmm. I think the crowd would be behind him regardless. Mm-hmm. It might be one of those situations where Vince sort of takes that fact for granted, and so he never puts the title on him. But I could see him as a WWE champion easily. Velveteen Dream, he's only 23 years old. If he's not a Universal Champion or WWE Champion one day, I don't know what the hell they're doing wrong. I really don't. He is amazing. And he has to come up with 3. What was the other one?
Oh, here, I'll continue here. I agree with your 2 choices, and I'll say any, if not all, members of the New Day.
Oh, yeah, Big E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about them. I thought when Big E was in Money in the Bank, it'd been great for him to have won it. Or sorry, I guess Kofi was in it, but Big E won the opportunity to have a New Day member in it. Have them freebird that briefcase and eventually freebird the WWE title. Yeah. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I think
depending on who they're facing in that particular feud, whoever matches up best against them, I thought that'd been awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome.
That would have been really interesting. I'm kind of curious if it was ever even considered that idea, or not. But that would have been really fun. I'd have loved to seen that.
So either collectively or individually, any member of the New Day, I think, would be a great WWE Universal Champion.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Our next Matt Chat question is from Josh Little, a new Matt Chatter as well, right? Okay, let's take it. We met Josh at StarCast.
At StarCast, yeah.
Lovely guy, him and his mom. See what he has to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson. Power rank what WWE superstar would finally end Adam Mayhem's title reign? Thanks, friendos.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. He's also responsible for giving us the new 4 Horsemen combo.
Well, 2 of them.
Of Luger, Sting, and then we added Roman Reigns to this 4 Horsemen.
Well, there's only 3 of them.
No, there is a 4th one, but he's perpetually a mystery partner.
It's RoboCop. Steve, you can go ahead and go first here.
Whoa, what am I doing?
So you got a power rank the WWE superstars that would end Adam Mayhem's reign.
Man, are you kidding me, dude? Give me a break. There is one superstar who I'd want to see end Adam Mayhem's reign, so that when he comes out, he's carrying this title with pride, with enthusiasm, with charisma, and all that is undisputed. That title will end up in the hands of Adam Cole, baby! Bye.
See, here's the thing. There's several WWE talents that I think would be pretty solid H champions.
I just thought of a better idea, actually.
You mentioned Adam Cole. He's great. Finn Balor, great. I mean, Seth Rollins, I can go on and on. However, none of them are Adam Mayhem. Adam Mayhem is the H champion, and he should be H champion in perpetuity.
Listen to
I
this.
can't think of anybody in WWE that I would want to beat Adam Mayhem for that title.
I can. Again, many people. Think about this.
What?
Right? So Adam Mayhem is many things. A little on the 205 Live side, he might be as well. So give me the main event, Adam Mayhem, versus the man of the hour, the 23-year-old piece of gold, Lio Rush.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be a great match.
Give me that match. Lio Rush goes over.
No.
with the H championship.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. There's only one wrestler in the entire universe that might, and I say that might, with
King
great
to
hesitation.
collect.
With great hesitation. Might.
Leo Rush.
No, might.
Leo
I might
Listen to
root
you.
for
Listen
instead
to
of
you.
Adam Mayhem. But again, that's a huge might. Probably not, but might. And that's Minoru Suzuki. It's the only wrestler. That if it's Minoru Suzuki against Adam Mayhem, my allegiances might be split. And that's it.
Nope.
But I will never root for Adam Mayhem to lose that title. Ever. Ever.
Okay.
I don't care how much money he takes out of my pocket. He is my champion. He is your champion. He is everybody's H champion. And I want him to carry that belt for a very long time.
Move on, please.
All right. Well, next, DJ Mott. DJ Mott has a Matt Chat question. Let's see what he has to say.
Thank goodness.
Hey, Stephen Larson. It is your Going in Raw Sneakerhead. DJ Mott here, back from the college dorm room. So, Renee Young just got full-time status on the announced team. So, with that being said, what is the next step in the women's evolution? Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, DJ Mott.
Thank you, DJ Mott.
So, really, just have the women's match. Main event WrestleMania. It could happen next year if they go with Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey. I think that'd be awesome. I think if built well, it could be incredible, bring a lot of attention to the product, and well deserved. So that's what I'd say. Main event Mania.
That's not a bad answer. Next step for me would be Candice LeRae versus Tommaso Ciampa. Intergender wrestling, the way it should be, the way we see it. You saw that, and now they're going to fight. I forget where. Jordan Grace, Brian Cage are going one-on-one.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
I don't know where it is. I forget. I just saw an ad for it. She put it on her Twitter.
That's very cool.
We saw them square off. She eliminated Brian Cage.
Powerbombed him, too.
Powerbombed him. It was great in the all-in thing. And so, yeah. But Candice versus Tommaso Ciampa should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm disappointed they didn't do that because it seemed like the storyline they could have done it easily, and now Candice has removed herself from that story entirely.
I feel like they could have at least done like a mixed tag match.
They
Where
did on the house show circuit.
Yeah,
but they never did on TV.
Oh, was them? I thought it was.
Sorry, it was
Zelina Vega.
Yeah,
and
it was. Yeah. But nonetheless, it was a mixed tag match that had limited intergender.
Ciampa get reluctantly have like a Shayna Baszler. If they're going to do a thing with Shayna and Candice, which doesn't look like they're going to. Have them, tag together in mixed tag match, but then have that moment where Candice stares down Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Get everybody, hyped for that.
Yeah.
So I want to see that. I mean, I think there's ways you can do, as we've seen on the independent circuit, on the non-WWE circuit, there are totally ways you can do intergender wrestling where it doesn't remind you that a man is in there trying to beat up a woman. You can do that. You can totally do that. Who's next?
Who's next? Zach S.
Oh, the man, Hall of Famer, Zach S. Let's see what he has to say.
What's good, Stephen Larson? Many friendos out there. It's your official friendo versus IWGP Heavyweight Champ, Zach S. Coming at you with another Match Chat question. The question this week is, who on main roster is going to have more success when they eventually get called up? Is it going to be Adam Cole or Ricochet? Thanks, boys.
Thank you, Zach S.
Thank you, Zach S. I mean, you can see this right now. Oh, wait, do you go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. You can look. The answer is Adam Cole, baby. Not just because we're both huge marks for the Undisputed Era, but you can see the proof being already in the pudding there in NXT. Adam Cole goes to the Royal Albert Hall, faces Wolfgang. What happens? The people cheer for Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole fights Ricochet at NXT for the North American title. Does the crowd cheer when Ricochet wins? Yeah, there's a respectful cheer, but it's not the kind of roof explosion that happens whenever the Undisputed Era comes out and wins something. It's Adam Cole. I think that Triple H is probably a huge mark for Adam Cole. That's why they booked them ridiculously strong. Ricochet's promo skills still aren't really all that up to par, even though he is fantastic in the ring. It's all, and Adam Cole's put on really good matches, so I'm going to say it's Adam Cole, baby. The crowd will surf him to glory, man. I'm telling you,
it could be, but Adam.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Isn't it funny how Adam Cole has positioned himself to never be the guy who they're going to say, oh, well, it's just the Bebe thing that's over. No, they say his name, and they associate him with that feeling of euphoria by doing that. He's going to be so over. Give me a break.
Probably.
Oh, I hope so.
But he'll be over, but will he find success? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Ricochet, by virtue of the fact that he's one of the best wrestlers and best high flyers, he's going to impress the crowd with his in-ring ability, and he will get over that way. As long as he's just competent on the mic, he will be fine. He'll be incredibly over.
Man, you know why that argument is so wrong? Because if you were right, 205 Live would be number one in the ratings every week. You need more than what he brings.
Well, I mean, he's hopefully not going to be on 205 Live, though.
I don't think I'm not saying he's going to
be
on 205
I understand your
Live.
point. I understand your point. But we've seen wrestlers. I mean, what was a knock on Seth Rollins when the Shield broke up? Oh, he's not that good on the mic. He got over. His mic skills improved. He was hiding all sorts of great mic skills, but mainly he got over because he was one of the best damn wrestlers in the ring. AJ Styles, he's a decent mic guy, but he got over because he puts on the best matches every show. If you can put on the best match every night, the crowd will respect you and respect your work. And so long as you can advance the story you need to advance on the mic, yeah, a lot of success.
Well, I mean, my counter to that argument will, of course, be Adam Cole, baby!
I mean, that'd probably be Adam Cole, but I'm rooting for Ricochet. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, who's next?
Oh, next. Loki.
I love Ricochet, too. I think he's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, it's great.
Loki is next. Let's see what Loki has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Loki Richard here with another Matt Chat question. My goggles make me see red, which makes me think, should wrestlers be blading to help tell their story? Is it a little dangerous, or does it help make the story a little bit better? Have fun with the debate, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Loki.
Thank you, Loki.
All right, so should wrestlers bleed more? Not necessarily, but I do think they should lift the ban on blading. So in that sense, yeah, I guess they would have to bleed more since they're banned from it now, more or less. However, I don't think it should be like the NWA in the late 70s and early 80s where basically there's blood in every match, because then the effect of the blood is lessened. When it makes sense story-wise, when it makes sense in the right feud to enhance the drama of what's happening, yeah, they should be allowed to do it. However, if everybody is doing it, then it's not going to matter. It's not going to be impactful. It's not going to be important. So I will say yes, but slightly.
Listen, man. You know what the coolest thing about the Ruthless Aggression era was?
Everybody bled.
It wasn't JBL's like long, ridiculously
There's
long.
There's blood everywhere.
It was blood everywhere. That's the coolest thing about the Ruthless Aggression era. That's the coolest thing about all those great matches from the late 70s, early 80s. It's not that the wrestling was good, because largely it sucked. It's because people were just bleeding everywhere. It all looked like snuff film because it was also shot on like the worst freaking cameras possible. Oh man, give me that over and over again. Every time we play 2K18 or whatever we're playing these days, and somebody gets busted open, we always mark out like a couple of little schoolgirls or
That's because
whatever.
we don't expect it. It's unexpected.
I know, it's great.
But if it happened every time someone got punched in the
fantastic.
face, I'd be like, oh, someone's bleeding
Well,
again.
that's just look, I would be totally happy if every match we did, there was blood, because it's fantastic. I'm not talking about every time we get, that would just be biologically weird if every time somebody got punched in the face, there'd be blood.
Yeah.
Although that could be cool too.
No, it just get tiresome, man.
Yeah, man. Blood is cool.
In the right moments, yeah.
All the moments.
No, not all the moments. Just the right moments.
Next
up, yeah.
We did, in fact, I got confirmation right now. Wait, hold on. Yeah,
I mean, it's already written down here that we got a question from Thayer Thabata. You don't have to confirm with anybody. I already confirmed it. It's old news.
Okay, we can run it now. Okay.
See what Thayer has to say.
What's better, submission finishers or pin finishers? And by pin finishers, I mean anything where you hit a move and then right after that, you pin him for the 3 count.
Thank you, Thayer Thabata.
Thank you, Thayer Thabata.
Now, while I am a big fan of submission wrestling, Zack Sabre Jr. is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Give me a powerbomb, a choke slam, uranagi, tombstone, pile driver, regular pile driver, a pile driver from the second rope. Nobody's tapping out to a pile driver. You know why? Because
no, from the second rope, they might be forced to.
Because yeah, but they can't, because they're paralyzed and they're getting pinned and their lifeless body cannot kick their shoulder up, man. That's why a finisher that results in some of those finishers you're already pinning the person. Take, for example, Dave Batista's Batista Bomb. You're just sitting there and the dude's pinned, right? Or the Perfect Plex. Now it's perfected by Peyton Royce. Bang, and you just hang out and you're pinning the person. It's like, whoa, where'd that come from? Scorpion Death Drop, DDT, Curb Stomp, or Stomp, whatever they call it these days.
Dirty Deeds.
Cool. Oh, and then of course, hey, guess what? Nobody's tapping out of Rainmaker, because the Rainmaker is a move that you hit it and then you pin them.
People
and
kick
you
out
go
the Rainmaker
1, 2,
all the time, though.
No, they don't.
They do.
No,
It
no.
usually takes multiple Rainmakers. to
Not
beat anybody.
an Okada. Yeah. Anybody. Not any. He doesn't fight just anybody. Major matches with major cream stars like that.
It took 3 Rainmakers to defeat Kenny Omega, something like that. 3 or
Oh
4?
yeah, but they're like half. Like, Kenny was.
Took a couple to defeat Shibata.
1 flush Rainmaker is all it takes.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I do know.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
I love Okada. I love myself a Rainmaker.
I don't think you do.
I do.
The way you're talking right now.
How many Okada shirts do you own? 0. I have 2.
How many of those did you buy yourself?
Well, I didn't have to because they were gifted to me. But if I had to buy it, I would, because Okada is the best wrestler in the world. However, his finisher
Last shot, either variations of pinning.
However, the Rainmaker is not booked as the strongest finisher, and we can agree on that. That's undisputed. Another thing that's undisputed is that if you want true drama to finish the match, then it's got to end in a submission. Think WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. The drama, Stone Cold bleeding everywhere, not willing to tap out, passing out.
I have a question.
What?
When Diesel beat Mabel, did he powerbomb him for that win? No. How did he win? Do you remember?
No.
Me neither. Couldn't have been a powerbomb.
No, I don't think so.
What was that? What event was that?
It was SummerSlam 94?
All right, you continue with your argument.
95? 94, I think. HBK, Kurt Angle, the finish of that match where HBK is in the ankle lock forever. The drama. If you want drama to finish a match, you got to go with a submission. One advantage to having a move, like an RKO, for example, is it can come out of nowhere, and that's always fun. Where
Stunner.
a move, comes out of nowhere.
Stone Cold ET.
But the drama, the selling that the person does when they're in the submission move, trying to get to the ropes, trying to find a way out of it. The storytelling, as we see with Zack Sabre Jr. several times, where you can see the mental process that he's undertaking to try to counter everything the person in the move is doing to escape it. It's fascinating. It's fantastic. It's great storytelling on a very granular level, and I love it.
I like that you said granular.
Thank you. So for me, a well-executed submission finish is the way to go.
It's good. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I love Zack Sabre Jr. I love when he could have, but man, give me, and then like the kick out, people who can kick out like 2.9 seconds. Oh, that's great, man. That's fantastic right there.
Next, we got a question from A.O. Worm. Let's see what A.O. Worm has to say.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy A.O. Worm here with another Match Chat question. All right, Steve Larson. So, over the years, you've seen many of wrestlers probably retire from in-ring competition or open up their own training dojos, as you call it. The Good Brothers have their own down somewhere in Georgia. The Dudley Boys have theirs. And then we've seen some of their candidates, some of their graduates in the ring, like Lacey Lane, MJ from the Mae Young Classic, the jobber who lost to Kairi Sane on NXT last week, all came from the Dudley Boy Factory. Which I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. They're producing products. They're cranking out talent, and they're actually pretty good. So my question is, what Hall of Famers or WWE legends that have training dojos do you think the best wrestlers so far have come out of? You might do a little bit of research for it, but I really want to hear you guys' answer. And from last week's question, I was more so leaning towards like people like John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H, like those type of guys how would they fare in NXT? But it's okay, because we know Roman wouldn't do good in NXT anyway. But all right, guys, let's go to work. Take it easy. Too sweet, hearty handshake. I'm out.
Thank you, A.O. Worm.
Thank you, A.O. Worm.
Confirmed. It was a shoulder tackle from the second rope.
Yes.
Highly unimpressive.
Yeah. I'll say Lance Storm.
Okay.
The alumni from the Storm Wrestling Academy include Tyler Breeze, Peyton Royce. I have some other names here. Hold, please. Emma. Tennille Dashwood.
Oh.
And then Chelsea Green.
Oh, I love Chelsea Green.
She's great.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Those are just some of the alumni from the Storm Wrestling Academy. I've heard a lot of great things about his school.
Who came out of Booker T's there also? Do you know who came
Ember
out
Moon.
of his... Oh,
Ember Moon's
okay.
from there, and I was trying to think. There's someone else that their name is escaping me because Booker T's school was another place that I thought of as well.
Okay.
So I'll go with those two.
Okay. I'm going to say the Shawn Michaels, was it Texas Wrestling Academy, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan came out of there. Paul London came out of there. I think Brian Kendrick came out of there.
Gonzalez.
Hernandez.
Sorry, Hernandez.
Hernandez came out of there. Let's see here. I'm seeing. Oh, I wonder who did Al Snow train? He trained Adam Cole. Al Snow. Let's see who came out of Al Snow's school wrestling. Let's see here. Al Snow Wrestling Academy.
You gotta look up like graduates or alumni or something like that.
I know. Oh, that does not look like it's going to be easy to find.
No. No, it doesn't.
Did Al Snow? Did he train
Rick Martel?
Oh, here we go. That doesn't say. Okay. So,
no.
I don't know.
Look up alumni or graduates. Right there. Anyways, this is wildly entertaining material.
This is hugely entertaining.
You just went to the exact same thing.
I know, but it said that it has them on there.
What, alumni on there?
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, don't know.
All right.
Al Snow's one of them.
Al Snow's one of them, said Steve, without knowing any of his graduates.
Adam Cole's one of them. Wrestling Academy graduates. Let's see here. Juniors. Let's see here. No, don't know.
They were partnered with Impact for a bit.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah. So, I do not know. I know it says they partnered with Impact here for a while. So,
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Adam Cole came out of Al Snow.
All right.
Anyways, who's next, Larson?
Next, we got Christopher Rampersad. Let's see what Christopher has to say.
Okay, cool.
Hello, Steve Larson. After going to the barbershop, giving myself a new look, what WWE wrestler needs a new gimmick, needs a new look, and needs a new finisher?
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher.
He's sporting a new look there.
Oh man, that dude, he's going undercover. Got rid of the beard, got rid of the long hair, trying a new look, because he's on a secret mission.
I don't think that's the case.
Probably not. Probably
Anyways, who in WWE needs a new look? I'm going to say Bob Roode. He's. What are you giving me that look for?
I'm curious where you're going to go.
Because Vince just sees him as the glorious guy. That's the entirety of his character, his gimmick.
How would you change up his look? What do you do?
Well, he should start coming out. He should not wear the robe at all. If he's not wrestling, he should be wearing a suit. Pretty much just what he did in NXT.
Okay. All right.
Do that.
Okay.
And this, you gotta distance him from the glorious thing, because I think in Vince's mind that's all he is, and you gotta kind of ditch that if he's going to advance anywhere as a character. I feel like it worked great in NXT because there is a counter to it.
Yeah,
it added depth to his character when he was this kind of snobbish heel who wore suits all the time, and then he came out to wrestle in these awesome robes and a fantastic theme song, but he was kind of a jerk. And so there is an interesting tension between that presentation versus how he conducted himself in promos and such. So kind of go back to the roots of what Bob Roode was in NXT, and just focus on that. Get away from the glorious stuff because it's not working right now.
Yeah. All right. I'm down with that. So I don't know if it would really change much about how she's booked, because the women's division I feel like they're probably going to get those tag titles, and that'll help relieve some of the pressure, but I do kind of feel like the women's division also needs a mid-card belt for singles wrestlers. Ember Moon, going back to NXT, because she was such a focal point of the women's division for a period, there was always that confusion of, wait, is she a werewolf? Is she like just cool, like a normal girl next door type? There's this weird dichotomy that didn't really mesh. There was no rhyme or reason to it. If they decide to focus on her at some point, which I really hope they do, because god damn it, she's a great wrestler.
She's awesome.
I think that might still be kind of a thing if they're going to focus on her. She needs to like sort of figure out what direction she's going to go in. If it was me, I would book her as kind of like I guess sort of a guy. She seems so like when she's on Up, Up, Down, Down, she seems so naturally likable that I don't buy the sort of werewolf aspect of her persona.
Yeah.
If it is a werewolf, I don't know.
I don't think it was ever a werewolf.
And so running with kind of a girl next door thing, maybe like sort of like I know he hasn't had a lot of success on main roster necessarily, but he kind of has Sami Zayn. Kind of like that.
Well, I thought it'd be interesting if they took that approach with her outside of the ring, but in the ring, switch flips.
If there was some sort of bridge, some character bridge between the two,
they never
I think that'd be
established that
good.
in NXT. I think that's maybe what they were trying to do in NXT, but they never established that kind of dichotomy.
Yeah.
And if they had, I think it would have worked really well.
Yeah.
Next, Minnesota Joe.
Oh, nice.
Asking about Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, friendos. Minnesota Joe here, back with another Matt Chat question. As you notice, I'm wearing my Macho Man Randy Savage t-shirt today. Ooh, yeah. And my question this week is, what is the best Randy Savage match of all time? And also, what is the worst Randy Savage match of all time? And for worst, it could just, he's got a couple bad ones, especially in WCW. But he's got a lot of good ones. So I want you guys to debate it. Thanks, friendos. Too sweet, and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Minnesota Joe.
Thank you, Minnesota Joe.
You go first. Best and worst Macho Man matches. You saw the worst, or one of the worst.
Well, okay, so the interesting thing about Macho Man is that the general consensus out there, because I can't think offhand, this is a crap Macho Man match. The general consensus is there's not a lot of bad Macho Man matches. There aren't like, oh my God, that was a garbage match. The dude was an impeccable wrestler. He was really good. So I pulled up a match. There's two things that I could think of. Number one, there was that feud with Jake Roberts. I don't think this happened during a match, or maybe it did, when Jake brought out that snake and it bit Macho Man legitimately. That was terrifying, and I didn't like it. I don't like snakes. They scare the crap out of me. So there was that moment. I googled Macho Man versus Hogan, but I wanted to see what they did in WCW together, and I came across Uncensored 1998, which is a cage match between the two of them. Yeah. Hogan looked like he was going in slow motion.
That's pretty much how he operated back then.
Pretty much. And then the Disciple came in. The people paid for this. This is the main event. People paid for this pay-per-view, right? So Disciple comes running out towards the finish of the match. I think Hogan's bloody. I couldn't tell. It was on Daily Motion. I didn't even bother to look up the network version. And so he gets in there. Macho Man had climbed up the cage, and he looked down at Disciple, and you think, oh my God, is Macho Man going to come flying off that cage somehow? Is he going to do like a double axe handle? Is he going to like drop an elbow, a crossbody? So I don't know what he's going to do. Of course, he just sort of, everybody's old by that time, and nobody was doing what they're doing now. Like Snuka was the big cage diver back then. He was the guy known for that. They didn't do it really again until like Foley, Edge, stuff like that, or Jeff Hardy. And so like he just sort of moseys back down, faces off against Hogan and Disciple, who's like Beefcake, and then Sting rappels down using his cable thing, and then Macho Man attacks Sting, spits at Hogan, and leaves. And that's the end. That's the finish. That's the match. What a bunch of crap. Like, people paid for that, and that's the finish.
I know.
And I feel like that was always in WCW. That's always how they finished their pay-per-views. It was garbage bullshit that Hogan politicked his way out of taking a pin.
Yeah.
That's always what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go there. I'm going to say that.
All right.
What do you got?
What do you got for the best Macho Man match, though?
Oh, it's Macho Man Steamboat.
Yeah, at WrestleMania 3.
3.
Although Macho Man Flair at WrestleMania 8 is really good, too.
Okay.
It's WrestleMania 3. That match is great.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome to see Jay Lethal and Flip Gordon pay homage to that match, beginning of their match, at All In.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to think that they worked every little beat of that match out in advance.
I know.
And did like table reads, essentially, so they both had everything memorized.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As for his worst match, I don't know if it's like fundamentally his worst match, but it's kind of the most annoying, and it has little to do with him. His match against Hogan at WrestleMania 5, I understand the story. They had to culminate the Mega Power story with Hogan going over Savage. It's just a bummer that whoever worked with on that match with them, picked more or less the least interesting way.
Okay.
Because for the first half of it, it's a decent Macho Man match. He's working over Hogan in classic Macho Man fashion. And then about, I don't know, halfway, 2/3 through, what happens? Hogan hulks out.
Yeah.
A bunch of punches. Macho Man has a brief little flurry. Hogan fends it off. Boot, leg drop. Hogan wins.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's the late 80s, early 90s, whatever. At least try to do something a little creative. But no. It's just annoying. I remember watching that and thinking, oh man, Hogan's actually, like, Macho Man's bringing out something different and interesting in Hogan. And at the end, it's just a standard Hogan match, and it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
Also, Macho Man had a lot of his feud against DDP was really good. They had some great matches too.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, I mean, I think the story. It's funny because I was looking at it. I was looking at the list of like best must-see Macho Man matches, and it was either Bleacher. I think it was Bleacher Report or Cage Side. Somebody had like a list, and they said essentially like, yeah, this is a cool feud, but nobody would actually call the match like must-see. It's just neat to hear the story behind it, how Macho Man really thought very highly of DDP enough that he said, yeah, you're going to go over. Because seemingly in WCW, if you're a big enough star, you just write your own check. Like you just do what you want. Yeah, no, I'll put you. There's no like Bischoff wasn't there saying, okay, so here's the deal.
Well, there's no vision, it seemed like.
There was no vision. It was like,
I mean, it's sort of like when the Outsiders said, yeah, DDP was the first one to get his, to fend them off because we liked them.
Yeah.
We like Dally.
Yeah, there is no like, okay, it makes sense for this guy to go over. It's just like, oh no, hopefully the Macho Man will let this guy go over. Hopefully Hogan will. No, that's not going to happen. No. Next Matt Chat question comes to us from
your Zodiac Killer.
Oh no.
Steve Zodiac Killer, see what he has to say.
Oh dear.
Stephen Larson, another match chat question for you from Steve Zodiac Killer. Just a quick one. With WCPW/Defiant bringing back Loaded on a weekly basis, obviously the free YouTube show, what other shows / pay-per-views / promotions would you like to see come back? I'd love to know your answer. Too sweet, hearty handshake, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Steve Zodiac Killer.
Thank you, my Zodiac
All right,
Killer.
I think I've mentioned this before, but this is an idea I have for 205 Live. Rebrand it WCW. Bring back the WCW name. Have it air Thursday nights. WCW Thursday Nitro.
I can't tell if you're joking.
World Cruiserweight Wrestling. See, one of the great things WCW brought us was cruiserweights from all over the world.
That's true.
So why not pay homage to that? Rebrand 205 Live, because what they're doing now obviously isn't working. Tape it at the Center Stage Studio or theater in Atlanta, where they used to do WCW Saturday Night. I think that'd be incredible. Smaller venue, hot crowd, put on amazing matches. We always said that 205 Live would work best in kind of like a PWG American Legion Hall type environment. Granted, this place is a bit larger.
Sure, yeah.
But I think
It's a great venue.
Yeah, it's a great venue. Because it's circular and all that great stuff. I mean, I think that'd be a fantastic idea.
Wouldn't it be vaguely confusing for people like, wait, they're bringing back WCW? Oh, it's for the cruiserweights. But it's what?
Because it's not World Championship Wrestling anymore.
But that's the thing. When you have to explain it.
No, but I think WCW is synonymous enough with great cruiserweight wrestling.
No, man.
Oh, yeah.
WCW is synonymous with old broken down WWE has-beens.
You got to go before that.
Ric Flair and Sting.
Also Brian Pillman.
I don't know, man. The first 10 wrestlers I think of when I think WCW, I don't think Pillman's in the equation.
You think of Jericho or Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio or Juventud Guerrero or Psychosis or La Parka?
I think of a couple of those names.
Dean Malenko.
But it's funny because like I'm not sure. It's like when I think, okay, I'll put it this way. Here's the thing. When I think of WCW, yes, I think of Benoit, I think of Malenko, I think of Jericho. Out of those three, I think of one of those as a cruiserweight.
All right.
Because the other two graduated out of that cruiserweight, and I just don't think of them as cruiserweights.
Anyways, what's your
No,
answer?
I love your idea, though. I really do. I just don't know if you're joking or not.
I don't know if I'm joking or not either.
It's one of those, might be genius, it might be terrible. I might be going crazy.
It could be both.
Anyways, what's the question?
Wrestling shows that you want to see come back.
Thunder. You don't want to see what? It's to your WCW. We'll put on Thunder also. It'll be where the developmental cruiserweights go. They bring in brand new cruiserweights.
See, that's a show that's got the stain of David Arquette winning the title on it.
That was the one that it was both of them, right? Vince Russo won on Nitro, but then he brought it out on Thunder.
Yeah, but David Arquette accidentally won the WCW title on
So
episode
wait,
of Thunder.
what show do I want to come back? Oh, ECW. Bring back ECW.
They couldn't do it the right way, though.
Do like a TV 14 ECW with no sci-fi elements, no zombies or yetis or
It's part of
vampires.
it. And don't like do the tapings at the end or before Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't do any of that.
No, buy the PWG. American
You don't have
Regional.
to. You don't have to have all the necessarily extreme wrestling to that degree, but you have to
mature storylines.
Re-envision the show in the spirit of the original.
Yeah, mature storylines.
Yeah,
sex, violence,
Violence.
guns.
No, they're not going to do guns.
A more edgy
A bit
ECW.
a bit more edgy.
Yeah, very much. Like every like the ring ropes, they're just barbed wire.
I mean, even Paul Heyman said he didn't want to do that after the Sabu Terry Funk match. He didn't do it again.
And every match starts with 15 light tubes in the middle of the ring.
Terrible idea.
And it's like a super small venue with no ventilation.
Oh,
Everybody's just inhaling that
and
stuff.
There's hunks of fluorescent tube going
Flying.
everywhere.
Toddlers welcome. Little kids
Terrible
getting-
idea. Terrible idea.
Getting sliced up.
That show's lasting 2 weeks at most. Next, we got a question from TNA for Life. Let's see what TNA for Life has to say.
What is up, friendos? It's your boy TNA for Life, here for another Matt Chat question. Steve and Larson, I want to know, if you guys had to add one man to the greatest faction of all time, which is obviously Undisputed Era, who would it be? Jay Lethal or Christopher Daniels? I want to know, if you had to bring one guy in, add him to Undisputed Era, which one would you guys add? Thank you very much. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Peace out.
Thank you, TNA for Life. Okay, I know you offered up Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels. There's only one wrestler in the entire universe that I would like to see join Undisputed Era, and that is Kevin Owens.
That's
and that is undisputed.
Yeah, that's it.
I understand that both Jay Lethal and Christopher Daniels have been in Ring of Honor for a long time.
I think Jay Lethal makes a little bit more sense right now.
I would agree. However, I don't know what we've heard many times from both members of Undisputed Era and other people that all four of those guys go way back.
Mhm.
They're in Ring of Honor for a long time. At the same time, but they also seem genuinely tight. They seem like genuine friends. I think that's an important part of their chemistry. And we know that Kevin Owens is tight with at least Adam Cole.
Mhm.
We know that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So I think if you're going to bring anybody else in the Dispute Era, it has to fit in with their natural chemistry and their history.
If I'll add this as a caveat though, if Jay Lethal is as tight with those guys, see, I would doubt Christopher Daniels is, because we probably would have heard it or something.
Mm-hmm.
But given that Jay Lethal was, if he's as tight with those guys as they all are with each other, then I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I would too.
I would be okay with
depends
that.
if it
Chris Daniels now I associate way too closely with SCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just, I know it's a relatively new thing. I mean, he's been with Case Arian forever.
Yeah.
But the Scorpio Sky edition and then the dubbing themselves SCU, that goes back less than a year.
Mm-hmm. Man, they've really got themselves over in less than a year.
Well, Being the Elite has.
Well,
I mean, that's where they do this town is the worst.
No, I know, but
Being the Elite has gotten. That's, I mean, you heard that podcast. Same with Flip Gordon. So I mean, that's why at Starrcast you saw Chris Daniels, you saw all those guys having a blast. They've been doing this for almost 20 years, and now they're more over than they've ever been. That's awesome. That is so great. So yeah, I don't know if I don't know their backstage relationship like with Jay Lethal, but if they're as close with him as they are with each other, then I'd be okay with that.
Totally.
But Kevin Owens makes all the sense in the world.
Oh yes.
Yeah, like you said, him and Adam Cole, they obviously have a pretty tight relationship. Kevin Owens was freaking in the crowd at TakeOver with an Undisputed Era shirt on. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
definitely.
Next, new Matt chatter. That hat guy Gatlin T.
All right, nice.
Let's see what the hat guy has to say.
Hey, hat guy.
Steven Larson, it's the new Matt Chatter, that hat guy Gatlin T, and my question is, so, one of my favorite TV shows as a kid was Power Rangers. So what I need you two to do is make me a 5-person Power Ranger team that consists of 3 men and 2 women. And that's a Red Ranger, a Blue Ranger, a Yellow Ranger, a Green Ranger, and a Pink Ranger. And then I need you to make me a 6th Ranger, and I'll let you guys pick the gender and the color amongst yourselves. Alrighty guys, too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, that hat guy.
All right, to preface our answer, we know nothing about Power Rangers.
I know less than
nothing. So I don't know if the various Power Rangers have attributes associated with their outfits. I don't know.
Okay, so I have
no idea.
A picture of Power Rangers here.
Yeah.
There's a blue one. Well,
Yeah.
that'd be AJ Styles.
Yes.
A yellow one would be Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
A green one would be
Jason Jordan.
Does he wear green?
Yeah.
Okay, Jason. He's done. He's not wrestling anymore.
Oh, that's probably a good.
Give me a
point.
different.
Hold on. I gotta find someone else who wears. Skip to the red one. I'll find someone that wears green.
Red Ranger goes to
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Oh, perfect. That's good. Pink Ranger goes to Natalia.
Yeah.
Or,
we need to have
or
2 women.
Bret
Though.
Hart.
We need to have 2 women.
We need 2 women. Okay.
We need a green.
Oh, the Black Ranger would be Becky Lynch because she wears all black now. And then who do we need? A Green Ranger?
Green. What about Jeff Hardy? He wears green sometimes.
Jeff Hardy. There you go. But we only had 1 woman.
No, we had 2.
Oh,
that's right. We only had 1.
Okay, so take out. What did you just say?
Oh, we need a new Green Ranger.
We need a new Green Ranger.
Someone who wears green.
How about this? Because the Green Ranger, I think, eventually became the White Ranger.
All right.
How about the Green Ranger is Zelina Vega and the White Ranger is Almas?
There you go.
El Idolo.
There you go. Good job.
Thank you.
We got one last question from Stephen Cupers.
Oh, nice.
See what Stephen Cupers has to say.
Hey, friendos, this is Stephen Cupers coming to you with another Matt Chat question. Now, Stephen Larson, if the friendos were actually put into prison, what would each of their prison roles be? So one has to be kind of the loner, kind of just does things on his own. One forms a gang, and one is forcibly turned into someone's lover. So let me know what you guys think. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Catch you in the next one.
Thank you, Stephen Cupers.
Thank you, Stephen Cupers. Okay, well, the warden of this very shady wrestler's prison would be the Undertaker.
Yeah.
You need to get back in your cell. I gotta put down any riot like a dog.
Oh dear.
We got another comment saying he never said that.
I told you that. I told you that.
But now he did.
No.
Because
You can't create history out of nothing.
I just did.
No, you didn't, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna agree with you. I'm not gonna play that game.
I'm gonna make an Undertaker shirt that says,
I'll put you down like a dog.
Right,
and then like the dog it's like a cartoon dog with Undertaker hat.
Yeah, and gloves on his paws.
There you go. Anyways, so Undertaker's the warden.
What are our roles?
Us?
Yeah.
Are we in this?
Well, it wasn't wrestlers. He said friendos.
Oh, friendos. Oh, I thought he meant wrestlers. Well, I'm taking the weird stuff about somebody making somebody else their lover out of the equation.
Yeah.
That's awkward. I'll be the warden. We can be co-wardens. I don't want to be a prisoner.
Oh, I don't either.
That's terrifying. Stevie Bradley, he's going to be like the big man on the block that nobody messes with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chip in here, man.
I don't know either. Those are all good choices.
Help me out. I'm drowning. You'd be that guy who's standing there, I'm drowning in the pool, and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
That would be my role in the prison.
What?
It's like you're
ineffective lifeguard?
You're in the shower getting shanked, and you're like, help me. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to get involved in this.
I want to get involved in this. You're my best friend. Come on.
Sorry about that.
I'll
be the first one to put some pressure on that wound when the shanking ends.
I hope so. Are you
but for right now, it's my own business.
You're gonna be like, oh, it's too much blood. I can't handle it. Come on, man.
No, I'll help you once the shaking ends. But during the shanking, I'm just gonna wash my hair, clean my underarms.
I don't like it, man.
I'm the guy who minds his own business.
I'll be the artiste. See, that's why I'll be okay, because I'll be the tattoo guy.
There you go.
Yeah. Everybody's tattoos will get infected. I'll rub it on my butt while they're not looking.
Oh gosh,
I'm gonna kill all
you won't
these
be you
fools.
won't be a tattoo artist long.
This will be a prison of one person.
Oh dear.
Exactly.
Except for me, because I'll mind my own business. I won't get any tattoos.
I'll forcibly give you a tattoo. Anyways, that's it. Is that for Match Chat?
Yep, that's
it for Match Chat. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, we'll see you guys at the live stream later today on our channel, youtube.com/Stephen Larson for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.